I cannot believe that you asked for this, but I will deliver. I am going to go through everything I got during holiday sales and Black Friday that I haven't shown on camera so far in 2020. And there is a lot from a lot of different companies. Now, I will say that there was one Colored Rain order that was a mystery box type situation, and I did not want to include that in this haul video today because mystery boxes are different. I can't explain why I purchased what I purchased. It was a mystery. Whereas the products I'm going to show you today, I have specific reasoning for why it is that I placed an order, and that's why I grouped all these products together. You're going to see two mystery bag type videos on this channel this December and December 2020, and that is one from Colored Rain and one from Urban Decay. And so look out for those videos. This is the standard type haul video as requested. So I'm going to stop talking and let's get right to it. Hi there, officially welcome or welcome back to HMM Makeup or Makeup. It's Hélène back for another video, and this is the haul video I have promised, and let's get right to business. Whew. If you have just decided to sit down to watch one of my videos and this is the one that you clicked on, I really hope that you have some sort of a beverage with you because it's going to be a long one. Let's get to the first box. Now, I am going in no particular order, and the first order that I picked is Juvia's Place, and it's the first one. It was the closest one to me, and I'm showing you the first palette here. This is the Berries palette. I picked up a bunch of the 6-pan palettes, a total of 7, and I'm going to try to show them to you as quickly as possible. And this is the Berries palette, and you can expect for all of these palettes the usual swatches, first impressions, and possibly more. So here is what the Berries palette looks like. I was extremely excited to get this one. The only two that I don't have that I quite want are the Mauves and the, what's it called? Mauves and the Taupes. Those are the last two that I really want from Juvia's Place. Next up, I have the Nubian Royal palette. And it looks like this. And that is a color story I can definitely get behind. That is beautiful. And this next Nubian Glow palette is quite different from the other one. It's very yellow. And this is what it looks like. And I definitely want to play with these two on the end here. I am just salivating at the ability to go and play with this palette. I think it's going to be beautiful. The curation for Juvia's Place is very good. And I will say that I'm very excited about the quads that have come out. If they are as good at curating quads as they are curating their 6-pan, I'll be delighted. Next up are the pinks, and this one is quite a wild ride waiting to happen. I am so excited for this one. It reminds me of Barb from the Amrezy palette from ABH, and this would be a nice soft look, but of course I'm looking at these and just chomping at the bit, so that will be a lot of fun to play with. Next up, it is the Nudes. Another 6-pan palette, and this one is a real easygoing palette, probably a good base palette to start from if I want to have a few neutrals that are easily accessible. I'm not super enthused about the shimmers in here, but I am looking forward to doing a few looks. Not everyone is big into color all the time, so I'm quite happy to do some neutral / nude looks from time to time. So if that's something that you would like to see, I have no problem delivering that. Now this is another one that is somewhat neutral shadows, but there are some interesting colors in it, and it is the Chocolate. And that is the palette here. It's a beautiful package. And look at that top row. Is that not gorgeous? There's a more cool toned brown and a more warm toned brown, and these two are beautiful. Beautiful. It's like the Nomad, the espresso version of the Nomad palette. That's the way I see it. Anyway, can't wait to get my paws into this one. And then we have one last one, and it is the violets. And I think that the violets will work really well with the mauve palette that I said I don't yet have from Juvia's Place. Yeah, the mauves and the taupes I am looking forward to getting at some point. And so here is the violets. Look at these colors, right? Look at this royal purple up here. It looks beautiful. Yeah, I'm super pleased with all the color combinations. I think they curated these palettes really well. And I think that one of the things that drives people nuts a little bit, as I put things away, is that Juvia's Place sometimes has what some might consider almost a chaotic color story. And some folks, some weirdos like me, find it exciting. But for a lot of people, it's just chaotic and confusing, and I can see how that would be the case. And so these just make it quite friendly, and because they are 6-pan, folks who are more into meshing different color stories together and whatnot can just combine a couple of these at a time and make more disparate looks. And that's great. That's great. I think that these 6-pan palettes enable both camps to be quite pleased. So that is it. 7 palettes from Juvia's Place. And now I am ready to talk to you about Anastasia Beverly Hills. So let me show you what I got from that brand. Now, if you have watched my collection video, that is a 4-parter. If you look at the makeup collection playlist, I'll put that playlist right there. If you look at that playlist, you can see the all of that set of it's a 4-part series for my makeup collection for 2020. And I would recommend taking a look at that. But if you watched those 4 parts, in one of them, I don't remember which one, I do cover some of the palettes that I'm showing you in this haul, just because I didn't want to miss them in the overall palette collection. So you may see some repeats if you've already seen that series. Now I am just going to talk about this one. It has featured on my channel, but I just wanted to remind folks that I do have the number 2, I think it is. No, sorry, number 1. And it came to me by accident from ABH, and they just decided to let me keep it. So I'm just mentioning that because I want to talk about this one. So this is my second one of these Pro Pigment palettes, and this one is volume 4. And this one, if I could only have one, this is the one that I would have gone for. But I do appreciate that the volume 1 has a number of shadows that are complementary to this volume 4. That said, if I could only have one, this is the easy one to say that I would pick. And this is what it looks like. And I have not touched it yet. I just know that this is my preferred color story out of the 2. And now, for quite a while, I had my eye on these palettes, specifically this one first and this one second. And then they came on sale really at a great price on the ABH website. And they turned out to be, I did the math, $17.77 Canadian per palette, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm just taking them out of the package here. And each of them is in its original individual box. So it's going to take me a little while to take them all out here. And I'm going to go from least preferred to most preferred out of the 3. Okay, so least preferred of them all is this one, and it is a lot of pinks and purples. And I think it's I think it's pretty basic for my purposes because these are colors that I use a lot all the time. And so I have quite a bit in my collection. And I would consider this one more of a palette for on the go. I have said many times on this channel, I love smaller palettes, and I've even said it in this video already. I just do. And this next one is because of the greens and red that is in this palette. All red. It's not quite red. Well, it's a burgundy, I guess. Burgundy brown. So there's this one right here. And these greens called to me. I can definitely see a look with these guys. This one. Now this one I'm not sure about, but I bet you it's going to be beautiful. I just need to give it a shot. So this is my second favorite out of the three. And diehards will know what this one looks like. And it is because of the two reds and the blue in this palette that it was calling to me in a big, big way. So these three right here. I'm so excited to get my fingers into these. You have no idea. It took everything for me not to play with these before this video. So there we go, 3 minis from ABH. And now for the one that got away. And I ended up getting, I guess, it's not a vault, obviously, but a gift pack, a set from ABH to get the one palette that was a regret for so many people, including myself. I'll just show you, look at this box. Now I have the one that housed the Soft Glam and Modern Renaissance from last year, and so I knew what I was getting with this box, and I do think that this box is great for storing lip products. And I'm probably going to use both for that purpose. And what is in the top drawer is what was my big regret last year, and that was to have passed on the sultry. And I kept looking at the Reloaded palette from Urban Decay, and I thought, no, that's not the one I want. This is the one I want. So I absolutely resisted getting the Reloaded, and I'm happy because I don't think I would need both. And this is what the palette looks like. And it has been all over YouTube. It is not a surprise, but I'm so excited to get to use it. And well, I want to point to certain parts of the palette, but frankly, I want to play with all of it. But if I had to pick a section, I would say this section is very exciting to me right here. I can't wait to see the kinds of looks that I do with this palette. And I do like ABH brushes. I will keep the brush in here. Yeah, I can't wait. Cyborg has just had my heart for a long time. Ember, steampunk. Yeah, there's a lot in here that I can't wait to play with. And if you want to see this sooner than later on my channel, please let me know, and I will be quite happy to oblige. And the second drawer in here houses 3 things. It houses a primer, an eyeshadow primer, which I have used this primer. It is, you know, if you do a cut crease, it's pretty great because it will eliminate, just completely cover whatever was underneath it. And I did do a cut crease recently with the one that I already have in my collection and quite liked it. And then there's this liner that Cara C has been absolutely raving about, and I can't wait to try it. And then this mascara that I don't hear a whole lot about. It's a full size. These two are full size. And I have to say, I will try the mini before I try the big one. And if I don't like it, I will gift this big one to a friend of mine. Somehow I think I'm going to like it just because I have sort of heard some okay things about it. But yeah, I don't know yet, obviously, what my thoughts will be. I don't have a crystal ball. But I'm curious, and it was part of the package, so why wouldn't I use it? But like I said, I'll try the mini that I have already first before I decide whether or not I'm going to crack into the full-size one. So that is it for ABH. So the Sultry set, the 2 Norvina palettes, and the 3 minis. Next up, let's do a little palette cleanser. Let's do a smaller little bit of stuff. I ordered a buy one, get one free, 2 small orders from Urban Decay, and they are products that I love that I've talked about a lot on this channel, and I'm just basically closing the holes in my collection of these. And I'm very pleased to have them. Now, first off, I do get a bunch of samples from Urban Decay. If you're curious, a lip sample, a couple of eyeshadow primer samples, another lipstick sample, a couple of setting spray samples that are great for travel. They're travel size bottles. And now we get to the good stuff. I ordered 2 brow products, and they were buy one, get one free, or buy one and the lesser of the 2 free. And so I decided to get the Brow Blade, which helps to make feather-like strokes on one side. This is what it looks like. This is the pencil side, and I got it in the color taupe. And then on the other side is the ink stain. So we're talking waterproof pencil and then ink stain. And that is what the tip looks like. Very, very fine. And what I want to do is I want to be able to do little hair strokes on the inner to a third or so of the lid, and then be able to use the pencil on the other side to finish up the brow. And by picking taupe, I can use whatever taupe pencil I have in my collection, regardless of whether or not I have run out of this one. I should still be able to find a pretty good match. And the other brow product is in here, and it is the Taupe Trap. Both of them are Taupe Trap color, and it is called the Inked Brow. Is that the name of it specifically? Tiny but mighty, precise built-in applicator, waterproof brow gel. Yeah, insanely long-lasting brow gel, and they talk about 60 hours. Hopefully we don't keep our makeup on for 60 hours, but I had tried a sample of this some time ago. You may recall me using it and mentioning that I was using a sample, and the sample lasted quite a long time. So I wanted to get the full size of it, and it is tiny. It's tiny, tiny, but that's a full size. And there's quite a bit, it's quite goopy. There's a lot of product here. And here is the brush. And it does a really nice job. It was kind of confusing to me at first because it's very liquidy, but that's part of what makes it awesome. You can just wipe off whatever it is that you don't need, and then you have a lot of precision, and it almost acts like a way to add color and kind of brow hairs, but it also kind of sets the brow, and then, yeah, it does not budge. Once it has dried, it does not budge. I was so impressed by the sample that I thought next time I can get this on sale, I will definitely add it to my cart, and this opportunity was perfect. So 2 more brow products, and in 2021, I have been accumulating a number of brow products, and I'm definitely going to be doing some comparisons and giving you some definite thoughts on which brand and which product from which brand I highly endorse. I obviously have a lot of real estate when it comes to brows, and I do want to find the best of the best value and just, you know, top performers regardless of price, that kind of thing. So you can see, you can watch out, I should say, for some videos like that about this product category in 2021. Now 2 more. I have 2 more heavy metals liners. I do not have all of them, but these certainly do round out my collection quite a bit. I think there are just 2 or 3 that I won't have at this point, but of course I go for what it is that I want most, which to me makes sense. I went for Pyro, which is very similar to Distortion that I already have in my collection, but I really like Distortion, and Pyro is just a different take on it. It's a lot more blue and yellowy orange than Distortion is. Distortion has more pink. And so I was quite happy to have both of them because they do have a different effect on the eye. And then I have this one. I forgot the name of it. And this one I was Grind. I was really excited to get this one. So this is Pyro right here. And this is not Distortion, Grind. And I just don't find the camera does them justice. Maybe just like that, maybe you can see the difference. Well, anytime I wear these, let me just say this. Anytime I wear this on camera, I get comments. Complimentary comments. And they just take, if you want an impactful eye, they take your eyeshadow or your eyeliner up a notch in bling. And I love them. I'm watching them dry right now. And I just love the effect that they have on the eye. And if you're going from day to night and you want to zhuzh up your night look, these are so quick. 1 minute per eye and you are done. You're good to go. Needless to say, I'm a big fan. Now to a bigger box, but there isn't that much in it, but it's a bigger box. This is an order I placed with Pat McGrath, or as Steph would say, Pat McGrath. And I mentioned Steph as I open this box because one of the products in here is for Steph. And it is the iEcstasy eyeshadow palette in Sublime. And that is the more neutral colors. Now, because this is a gift for my friend Steph, I'm not going to open it, but I think you may know, if you know Pat McGrath shadows, you may recognize this one, and it came on great sale. I think it was $13 Canadian. And so I decided to get it for Steph, and we'll be sending it to her in Ireland. And I can't wait for her to get it because she quite likes Pat McGrath and absolutely loves Natasha Denona. And so I think she will enjoy this little treat. Now, I got myself two things from Pat McGrath. This one, though, came from Sephora because it was cheaper at Sephora than it was on the Pat McGrath website, even with the 25 or 30% off she had recently. And it was, I think, $52 from Sephora Canada. That's in Canadian, of course. And I hate these little inserts. I really wish the names were on the palette itself. And I'm not a big fan of of the cardboard packaging. I understand, and I think environmentally friendly packaging is important, and so I don't begrudge that, but I've had many cardboard palettes from a lot of other brands that were not so janky. I hope that's not an offensive term. I hope that's not an offensive term. It's junky. I'll say junky instead. I do like the imagery on it. I just don't like the construction of the palette. I do appreciate that it is a magnetic closure compared to the weird double-sided opening of previous palettes. And I do like the color story. And that, when it comes down to it, that is why I ended up picking up the palette. At $52, I could stomach trying this color story and comparing it to the Divine Rose 2, which is a full-size palette of Pat McGrath's that I do have. And then I got this one. And if you've seen some videos of this palette, you know what is inside based on the exterior packaging. And it is the Celestial Divinity palette, one of the only palettes that I can remember the name of. And it has an interesting way of opening up. So if you look on the side here, it's kind of a big envelope flap, which is nice because you don't tear away at the box. And all the shadow names are on the back. And I got this one because I understand that 2 of the Star Wars 6 pans are part of the palette on the 2 sides. Let me just open that up. Now, it is held up with ribbon on the sides. I'm not a fan of that. I would just prefer that the palette fold back. Let me show you the palette. So these 6 here and these 6 here are from the Star Wars 6-pan collections. And I do have a couple of repeat shades in here, but very few. I have Corruption, which I think is up here. It looks like Corruption up here. And I think I have one more, but I don't see it right this second. But anyway, this is what it looks like. And to me, 18 shades from Pat McGrath for whatever it was, 105 Canadian less 25% was perfectly fine by me. It was a reasonable discount, reasonable enough for me to get this, because when I consider that compared to the price of 3 6-pan, this is a steal. Even if it's less product per pan, which I suspect it is, it's still worth it, because how many people finish a palette like this? I'm not worried about finishing up any of the shadows in here. If I do, that will be stinking fantastic. But I am looking forward to playing with this palette. Let me know what you think of the palette, and if you have any requests for some looks on camera, I would be happy to hear what it is that you would like to see. Now, a little something from Too Faced. So I did place an order with Too Faced, and the reason I placed an order with Too Faced as opposed to get my Too Faced products from Sephora is that the pumpkin palette disappeared from Sephora. And what I wanted was, I wanted to grab it on sale at Sephora, and the sale never came. Or I missed it somehow. And it is a palette out of all the gingerbread palettes and all of the seasonal palettes they've come up with, or come out with. The one that I wanted was the pumpkin palette, and I just missed it on Sephora. So I ordered the pumpkin palette from Too Faced, and it felt really weird. I don't really expect to go to the Too Faced website because I'm in Canada and I have to pay shipping. So here is what it looks like, and I did get it at decent discount. I think it was 30%. And here is what the palette looks like. And I wanted this palette because I do like the scented palettes from Too Faced, and I really liked the color story more than the last two gingerbread palettes. This color story is my jam. Absolutely. The greens, the purples, and the pinks, I am big on. Very big on. The fall vibes is beautiful. These two here to call my name along with this one and this one. And then that pink, absolutely. These two to deepen up a look, absolutely. I think I will do great. And when I look at this quadrant right here, it does give me some of that gingerbread palette vibes, and so that just helps with that desire. I can't wait to get my fingers, brushes, whatever, into this palette. So here is the other thing that I picked up, and it is a mini of the gingerbread palette. I think the spice, yeah, gingerbread spice palette from last year, I think. And I am perfectly okay with it because I feel like I have the essence of the gingerbread palette feels from last year and the year before. So I'm quite happy with this one. An 8-pan palette is perfectly fine for me. I feel like I have my bases covered, and I have the holiday feels I wanted to get from Too Faced. Now, as a bit of a palette cleanser, I do have a very small order from JD Glow. I will start taking them out of this box, but let me just grab a magnetic palette because these are all singles. All right, so I grabbed a Colored Rain empty magnetic palette, and we are going to put them all in here as I show them to you. Now, I did order these two products, and they look a lot bigger on the site than they do in real life, and a lot of product did spill out into the box. So that is one thing that I was kind of confused about. So that, I guess they're very, very finely milled, and the powder is so fine. I have the same problem with Glam & Co. Lilac Vibes, the container that Steph gave me. It is extremely fine and extremely powdery, but they are really, really neat. I wonder if there's enough powder here to do a swatch. I think so. So this one is Receipts. So I think you can see it right there. That is Receipts. Kind of a limey green. And this one is Mesmerize. It's a play on words with mesmerize being eyes, the E-Y-E-S at the end. And this one is more of a purple. That one I'm going to have more trouble getting because I wiped off a lot of the spillage. I think you can still see some of it. So receipts and mesmerize. So they're supposed to be sealed containers, but there's quite a bit that went flying anyway. But they are very cute little containers. So I'm not against having loose eyeshadows. I'm actually becoming quite a fan of them. And so to have a couple more in my collection is just fine. And so here I took out a magnetic palette, but I really only have 3 shadows from JD Glow. They're not loose. I forgot that only 3 of them were pressed. This one is a Galaxy Shadow a Galaxy Collection shadow in Sin. Just very carefully open that up. So that it was what that one looks like. Let me just swatch it real quick. I'll do a full swatches video at some later date, but I just wanted to show you. And the finger. Whew! They're not kidding when they say that it has some punch. Okay, so that's the first one. And then I went for some greens, believe it or not. This next one is Prismatic. And that's what that one looks like. So let's do a swatch of that one. Okay, so that has yellow, green. Let me just double swatch it. Yellow, green, blue. Definitely a yellow base. That is really neat. It's very different on the hand than it is in the pan. I cannot wait to play with that one for sure. Okay, that's Prismatic. And then finally, of course, you know me, I need a lime green. And this is Chartreuse. Chartreuse. Perfect. It's perfect. Of course I got that one. How could I not get that one? I'm always so nervous when I get singles. So that's what that looks like. And let me just swatch that one for you as well. And there is Chartreuse down here. Okay, so that is it for my JD Glow order. I know I said it was a palette cleanser. It's tiny, but here are the 3 shadows and of course the 2 singles. I'm happy. I'm happy. I wanted to dip my toe into the brand and get a feel for it. And I did not buy during any sort of sale, so I kept my order small to just those shadows that I thought if I only order ones from JD Glow, what would I get? And I feel like I got a pretty decent variety, kind of more on the bluish, depending how you look at it, more on the bluish, more on the pinkish, and then more on the green. I'm happy with that. That's just very different. And then as far as the these other 2, there's a bluish pink and then a bluish green. So just, I think they're different enough. I'm happy with it, and I will play around with them, and we'll see what we get. And the swatches are nice enough that I am not taking them off my hand. You'll just have to suffer them for the rest of the video. So I hope that was a decent palette cleanse because we have another box to get through. And this is the last of it. This is just a complete culmination of a bunch of small orders that I made from Sephora. And there are only a couple of items that I haven't received, and I just didn't want to keep you waiting for this overall haul from a bunch of different brands. And so let's get into it. Let me just tell you what it is that I don't have yet from Sephora, just so that we know exactly where I'm finishing off at the end of December for 2020. Now this one I hemmed and hawed a long time. It was in my cart, it has to be a dozen times before I pulled the trigger, and finally I was able to get it for 25 Canadian, and I just decided to get it. And it is the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in Own Your Light. And I blame Angelica Nyqvist for that one because I kept wanting it badly over and over and over again, and then she and I have similar makeup tastes, and she swatched it and she explained why it was kind of a crown jewel in her collection. And so that just got me over the edge, and I'm pretty happy. It should be getting to me any day now. But again, there have been shipping delays, so I don't want to make you wait till the new year for the final 2020 haul. So that will be coming to me, and I'll show you on camera at some point, obviously, once it is in my collection. And I mentioned that I was getting into more brow products, and I did order the Kaja Brow Blowout Fiber Gel in 02 Soft Brown. And then finally, I ordered a duo of the mini, well, the Rollerball Sinner perfume, along with a mini liquid lipstick. Oh, it's actually the lipstick by the same name. It's a plum lipstick called Sinner. So it's the Sinner perfume and the Sinner liquid lipstick. So I'm pretty happy with that. And it's not a rollerball, actually. It's a travel spray, perfume spray, which I hope is refillable, because I have the full-size Sinner perfume bottle, and I wanted to have an option for on the go, especially for travel, to be able to have one of my favorite perfumes with me. And that's why I got the set. And so those are the two very small purchases I made that I just didn't really want to wait to show you all of the rest of this. I didn't want to wait till next year. So that is what is coming my way. And I think you'll agree it's not super material, but I promise I will show you once I have them. Now for what's left in this big Sephora box. I have a few palettes. I did pick up this Shake Your Pom Poms palette from Too Faced from Sephora because it was 20 bucks. It was the cheapest place I could get it. And I got another discount, I think, on top of it. So it is in the tin packaging. And it has 8 shadows. And despite the outside, I really like the inside. And it's the inside that counts, isn't it? I am very pleased with this color story. It's very, very neutral, but it has that pop of pink and kind of a greenish color. I don't feel like the camera's showing the green all that well, but these two colors really got me. And I think I'll get decent use out of it. I think it's a neat palette, and I like all the shadows in here. And it seems maybe a little neutral for me, but I think it's great. I really, really like it. And again, I mentioned that I will be doing my makeup away from the home on a regular basis, and to just have this to do an eyeshadow look is great. And of course, the tin packaging gives me some sense of security for the eyeshadows. With that one and the mini gingerbread spiced palette, I feel like I've got my Too Faced collection overall pretty well rounded at this point. Now for a palette that I've had in my cart over and over and over and over again, and finally I was able to get $25 off of $58, and I jumped at the opportunity to get this palette. And it is a beautiful, I love purple. It is a beautiful purple packaging, and it opens as the usual small Viseart palettes do. And look at the inside. I love green and I love purple. What is this palette comprised of? It has greens, it has purples, and of course I'm a sucker for yellow as well. It is fine and dandy for me, and I like this size of a palette for mixing and matching when I'm getting ready to go on an extended stay somewhere. And I do depot all of them into a single magnetic palette, but when I am going to be away, I do transfer a bunch of them into one or two of these, either the 8 pan or in this case the it's not 12, yeah, it is 12. So not one of the 8 pans, but one of these 12 pan palettes. And it just is so convenient. The size and the secure packaging, so convenient to take Viseart out and about. And this palette has had my name on it for a long time. Well, since it came out. Since it came out, I've been drooling over it. So I'm really happy to have it in my collection at this point. And finally, 2 more products that I got for 50% off, which is why I bought 2 of each. I bought the Clinique Take the Day Off for half price. I was really happy. They're 2 full-size products. Pharmacy is my favorite. The Pharmacy Green Clean is my favorite, and Clinique Take the Day Off is my second favorite. And they're both very good. So I don't have a problem at all with having picked the Clinique because first off, it's a lot cheaper than Pharmacy, and I got it for 2 for 1. So I was super happy. And then these make me think of Kimberly-Clark because they are face creams from First Aid Beauty, the Ultra Repair Cream, but in the mega size. I think it's 8 ounces. Yeah, 226 grams or 8 ounces. They're huge. And these will last me for a very long time. I have been using First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream for quite a while, and I am set. And with it being winter right now in Winnipeg, I will be well stocked for these. I'm so happy. I got them for $19 each, so not a surprise that I picked up 2 of them. For that price, are you kidding me? And that's it. We made it to the end. That is my all-in haul for the end of the year of 2020. That includes all the holiday sales and Black Friday sales, apart from the very early on sale from October. I did do a separate haul for that. So that is everything. That is everything that I am expecting. And the only thing that was not included was, as I said at the beginning, the Colored Rain mystery bags haul. And so I'm lying because I do have the mystery bags coming as well from Urban Decay. That will be it. But to me, when you don't know what you're getting, it doesn't feel like a haul. It feels like a completely different category of purchase, if that makes sense. Let me know what you think of what it is that I purchased. Do you think I made some good decisions? Are there some things that you think I should have purchased, or things that I've purchased that you wonder if I'm doing okay? Let me know what you think of all of this, and I look forward to your comments, questions, and concerns if there are any. And with that, I will say thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. But for now, take care.